So this is something that basically means the lighthouse get to have their fun. And really dangerous for certain of pushing this vertical lag into a motorcycle gang? Well, it's not something ridiculous as you get older and older. There's a limit to how free and where the jet gets pulled off. Transport organisations not like they're ever going to become a tail wagging the switch for our volunteers. It's more that the increasing way that Putin relies on groups like the Night Wolves, like the militias that are fighting in the Donbass, who are kind of taking over state control in the north. It means that actually he gets deniability, but he also has less real control. Marshall Mariani wrote about this in Finally, the U.S., Canada, and Mexico may share borders and trade agreements, but a new plan announced yesterday by the White House would have the three countries cooperate on butterflies and bees. Honeybees and monarch butterflies in particular are threatened. Their numbers are crashing. So one part of the proposed conservation plan is to create a butterfly corridor across North America. Karen Oberhauser is a conservation biologist. Karen, what is a butterfly corridor?
So we're calling this the I-35 corridor, but it's not just I-35 and the land on either side of the highway. It's land going out hundreds of miles on either side. So if you basically think just of a broad swath of land coming up from Texas and going through the middle of the United States, that's what we're thinking of, because we know that that is where most monarchs come from that migrate to Mexico in the fall, and where most of them breed.
So would Mexico be creating the same kind of corridor in Canada so these butterflies could wing their way up north and south each year safely?
Yes, Mexico has actually been focusing for a long time on conserving the overwintering stock. So there's a strong push to stop logging the overwintering sites in Mexico, and a more recent push to focus on the migratory pathway. So it's definitely a focus in Mexico as well as in the U.S. and Canada.
The drop in the monarch population is really staggering. 90% drop of monarchs heading south. Have scientists been able to really zero in on what is causing this massive drop in population?
It's sometimes a little disheartening to think of all of the things that are threatening monarchs and bees and a lot of other species. Probably the biggest one is habitat loss, and what's happened recently is there actually used to be a fair amount of milkweed, which is the host plant for monarchs, growing in cornfields and soybean fields. And these milkweeds were used by monarchs, but with the advent of herbicide-tolerant crops, that milkweed has disappeared. So that's been a big driving factor, but we also have insecticides that are being used, mosquito control agents. Climate change is probably playing a role, so there are lots and lots of factors that are contributing to this.
Now, you mentioned bees, and this announcement does apply to bees as well. What about this corridor will help in restoring their populations?
Well, the stated goal is to protect 7 million acres of habitat. And basically, good monarch habitat is also good bee habitat. So anything that we do for monarchs will help bees and vice versa. So creating habitat that has the nectar sources and the nesting resources that these bees need will have huge benefits for them and for monarchs.
Are Canada and Mexico taking their own initiatives on this corridor?
Yes, this is a trilateral initiative. So it all started when Presidents Obama and Peña Nieto and Prime Minister Harper met in Mexico last February 2014 and agreed to protect monarchs. So all three countries have big initiatives right now. So we're really heartened by this.
Any suggestions for our listeners on how they could protect honeybees and butterflies?
Yeah, there are lots of things. Anybody that has any land at all, even a yard, the nice thing about butterflies and bees is they can use very small pieces of land. So, a 10 by 10 foot garden or larger is always better, but you don't need a lot of space to put in flowers, sources of nectar for bees and butterflies, and milkweed plants, which are the food for the caterpillars. People can also get involved in monitoring monarchs. There are all sorts of great citizen science programs that monitor monarchs when they're caterpillars, when they're migrating. Really anywhere people are, they could go out and monitor monarchs.
Karen Oberhauser is a conservation biologist at the University of Minnesota. Thanks, Karen.
Great talking with you.
What was it Muhammad Ali used to say? Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. From the Nan and Bill Harris studios at WGBH in Boston, I'm Carol Hills. Thanks for tuning in.
The World is a co-production of the BBC World Service, PRI, and WGBH, supported by the WGBH Fund for Environmental Reporting, whose donors include the Grantham Foundation for the Protection of the Environment, supporting a cooperative approach to solving our critical environmental problems while we still can, and the Candida Fund, furthering the values that contribute to a healthy planet. The PRI Ambassador Council, whose members include Peter Berge and Debbie Sick, and Cindy and Howard Richowski, by the Ford Foundation, the Luce Foundation's Henry R. Luce Initiative on Religion and International Affairs, by the Annenberg Foundation, advancing a better tomorrow through visionary leadership today, annenbergfoundation.org, and by the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, committed to building a more just, verdant, and peaceful world, macfound.org.
PRI, Public Radio International.
You're listening to KPBS. Marketplace is next. KPBS is supported by Feeding America San Diego. School's out, hunger's not. San Diegans can help feed kids over their summer vacation. Learn more at feedingamericasd.org. You're listening to KPBS 89.5 FM San Diego and KQVO 97.7 FM Calexico, where news matters. It's 3 o'clock.
And as we look at the freeways, busy on the coastline because of an earlier accident on the North 5 near the racetrack. It's slow first from the 56 to Leucadia Boulevard, then Palomar Airport Road to Oceanside Boulevard. South 805, the usual slowing the triangle there, Sorrento Valley to Governor. South 5, stop and go from the 94 to the 15. Traffic reports made possible by Summer House at Wesley Palms, a memory care neighborhood with cottages encircling a protected courtyard. On the web at summerhouse@wp.org. A look at the freeways. I'm Mark Zegan, KPBS.
Marketplace is supported by Progressive Insurance, small business protection for more than vehicles with specialized coverages to protect against financial loss. More at progressivecommercial.com.
You can get me on Twitter at Kai Rizdal. You can get the first guest on the program today, Jack. That'd be Jack Dorsey, the co-founder of Twitter, and also his newest venture, Square, from American Public Media. This is at Marketplace.
Marketplace is supported by MailChimp. More than 8 million businesses around the world use MailChimp for email newsletters, A/B testing, and marketing automation. More at MailChimp.com. By RingCentral, the cloud communication system that integrates with CRM, sales and support applications like Salesforce, Zendesk, Box, and now Google for Work. More at RingCentral.com.